Hello friends, this is Scott back at my home backyard garden, and I'm going to show you today my tradition of my responsibilities on Turkey Day. This is something I do every year. I'm very patterned, I'm very precise, I'm very black and white when it comes to what I need to do. It's a tough day, it's a lot of work on Thanksgiving, so I'm going to share with you my routine. So as you see here, the first thing I got to do is clean the pallet. I've got to clean all the leaves off the patio so that I can get to work on cooking the best turkey ever. But there's several steps that have to occur before I'm ready for that to start that perfect turkey. Seems like every year I'm a little slow getting the leaves cleaned up, and I'm not usually in a hurry because there's still a bunch of leaves in the trees, and it's just I'd rather have them all fall and do it once than try to do it 10 times. But today is an important day, so I've got to clean it up a little bit and make myself feel better. Now here you see my fire pit area, and this is the most important area for my busy day. If I don't have this area just right, I'm just not going to be successful. So I've got to get this area cleaned up the most just to make sure that everything's taken care of and I can deal with all the stress of the day, because it's a very, very busy, fast-paced, stressful day for me, and I've got to make sure that my environment is good. Next step, I need some kindling. So I'm going to show you my great axe skills here and making some kindling so I can get this fire going. I don't like to use gasoline or other accelerants, so I'm just going to go for it with some cardboard and a little secret I'll show you here in a minute that I use as a fire starter. And I'll chop up a few small pieces so I have enough just to get this fire going before I start stacking on the bigger pieces. But I like chopping wood. I've always been interested in wood chopping. I'm just not that great at it, as you can tell. But it works. I didn't cut anything off, and I got the job done. It wasn't pretty, but it worked out. So always got to use a little bit of paper product to get the fire started. So I've got looks like a little alcoholic beverage box there. I don't know where that came from because we're a sober home. But must be the neighbors must have blown into my yard or something. So anyway, it's here, so we'll use it up and we'll burn it we'll burn the evidence so nobody knows what we're doing over here in the backyard. But so I just have a grate that's pretty melted over the years, or at least it's been warped, so it's kind of got a nice arc to it. So I can put the paper underneath, and then I can just start stacking the wood on top. Now here's my secret: is dryer lint. Dryer lint's very flammable. Stick it in a toilet paper roll, use roll, and that's where I'm going to start the fire with the lighter. And again, I've got to get rid of the evidence here, rip this up, and not the smallest of pieces, just enough just to get it so it gets a little oxygen and it'll get started. Stack a little wood on, and I start to decide my teepee's going to be creative today, and I'm going to use the grate. And then that didn't really work out too well. I tried, but I gave up on that. So I'm just going to lay these sticks down, and I'll make a little teepee with the base of flat sticks, and then I'll start stacking the other sticks on top. And again, this wood's really dry. It burns very quickly. I just need to make sure that I have enough oxygen to it and just enough paper and fire starter just to get it going. And then it'll catch and it'll burn really nice. And it's usually a one-try deal. I'm not out here trying to light a fire all day. It usually works out one shot, and it's good to go. Just adding the last few pieces before I get the old lighter out, and I'm just using one of the camp lighters that I can reach down in there and not burn myself while I'm doing it. And I'm lighting the dryer lint right now, as well as a couple places on the cardboard. And it just takes a few minutes, and you'll start to see the smoke coming up, and it catches pretty fast. And then once that's started, you just build her up. But here we go. Here's our smoke. Start to see a little bit of flame. It's kind of a swirly day today, so I had a big challenge of, you'll see me rotating chairs a lot today because the smoke just keeps changing directions. But it's got a little moisture in this wood. It looks like maybe it's not as dry as I had thought it was, but it'll burn, and it definitely did the job. It is a beautiful sunny day today, but it is a little bit chilly, so I'm glad I have a fire going. And I'm just adding some more sticks. Just bigger sticks just to get it going, and then once I get that going, I'll throw some bigger logs on and keep her going for most of the day. because this is about a 3.5 hour process making the best turkey ever. So now let's get into the turkey making. The secret is the Big Easy barbecue, I guess you call it. It is a propane turkey cooker. It is not, there's no oil. It's not this dangerous thing where people buy all this oil and blow up their house. I could clean it a little bit better, it looks like, but this is the best, most consistent turkey cooker that I have ever seen. Every year, perfect turkeys. All you do is you hook up your propane, and it doesn't have any temperature settings. You just turn it on full bore, and you turn the little crank there, which is a little sparker, and then the flames actually go around the edges. As you see, I'm testing the heat. I can tell it's on. If you look down in those little holes on the top, you can see the flame. I put the lid on now just to help it warm up a little bit before I go grab the turkey, but the lid is not used the whole time. Here's the turkey in a basket with a thermometer in there, and my wife went through and she oiled it up with her. I won't give you all the secrets that she has for making the coating of the turkey, but it's just got a nice little oil and other herbs and spices on there. And the basket just fits inside the cooker, and you don't put the lid back on right now. You just set it in there, and you let it go. And the thermometer sits there for a long time before it moves, and it actually travels all the way around before it starts registering a temperature on this particular thermometer. But you stick it in the main muscle of the turkey so that you get an accurate reading. Now here's where my day gets really stressful. I have to sit here and I've got to keep this fire going, and that's a full, for me it's a full-time job. So you'll see a lot of action shots here of me, trying to stay warm and motivated while I'm cooking this turkey. Again, it takes about 3.5 hours. So you'll see me, I'm sitting in another chair and I'm enjoying this fire, and I'm working really, really hard. You can start to hear the cracking of the fire. But it's just a beautiful day to be outside. As you can see, I'm keeping a really good eye on this fire. It's going really nicely now, and I'm getting a good bed of coals. And I'm moving around again because the smoke is kind of billowing or waffling around the patio, and no matter where I sit, I seem to not find the right spot. But I'm keeping warm, and I'm just I'm working up a sweat here. And I got to get up now and then, and I got to actually peek at the turkey. I've got to check the temperature and just make sure everything's going okay. Make sure I didn't run out of propane. Just make sure the thing's on, because it'd be pretty disappointing if I was sitting here for 3 hours and I didn't have a turkey to bring upstairs. The family would be a little disappointed, I would think. But again, back to sitting, and I get back up and I look at the temperature, and it's really hard to see the gauge there, but you'll see a little red arrow, and that's where the temperature's got to go. So this is probably an hour and a half in. I'm getting really stressed out now. The stress is just getting to me. I got to start drinking adult beverages, and I don't know how many of these I'm going to have to get through the day, but I'm not going to count today. I'm just going to just enjoy myself as best I can. Now I'm looking again, it's about 2 hours in, 2.5 hours in. I guess about 2.5 hours in, and it looks like it's about 20 degrees maybe from being done. So I'll just keep being patient. And here we go. We're starting to see it get closer to the red arrow. And you also see the little turkey plug they got there, the little thermometer that always usually pops out, or in theory is supposed to pop out when the turkey's done. And usually it doesn't, but guess what? It popped out at 160 degrees rather than 165. So it was a little bit, I left it in a little longer than that thing popping out, because I like it 165. That's what you're supposed to cook it at. So simple as raising the basket out, and you see the juices, the goodness dripping still off the turkey. It's very moist, even after sitting there for 3.5 hours. And I put a little tray there so I can carry it upstairs. But here's the turkey. It's just a beautifully crisp, thin skin, just nicely cooked all the way around with a lot of moisture in it. And I took it upstairs, and it's somebody else's job to carve the turkey. So my job is almost done, other than eating. So, as you can see, it was a very stressful day. But I have one more task. The best part of this is gravy. I come out here and I pull the little tray, and there's all the rich goodness of the drippings from the turkey. So that's what's going to be our gravy for our mashed potatoes. And I took it upstairs, and I guess I got the camera turned sideways, but there's the gravy, and it made a really delicious gravy. And that's my job on every Thanksgiving. Like clockwork, I do it the same way, and it's just my way of contributing to the feast for the family. If you like this kind of video, and want to continue to follow me on my journey in living my best rural life in the city, please subscribe to my channel, like, share, and comment, as I'd love to hear from you. Thank you.